Goon cartoons!
Wild Cartoon Kingdom was an animation magazine published from 1993 to 1994 by Larry Flynt Publications. The magazine was created by Film Threat founder Chris Gore. It was edited by a number of people during its run, including John Kay of Ren and Stimpy and Spumco fame. The magazine lasted 5 issues, and sadly, after the 5th issue, it was canceled by LFP. Hey everybody, welcome to my book look read along. This is Wild Cartoon Kingdom number 4, published by Larry Flynt, edited by Chris Gore of Film Threat. My name is Frank Forte. I'm a veteran of the comic book industry, animation, and film and TV, which I still work in to this day. Still doing comics under Asylum Press. If you want to check out my company and help support the indie comic scene, would be much appreciated. But this is Wild Cartoon Kingdom, a animation magazine from the 90s, which is in my collection, and I used to read this and pick this up every time it came out, just to see all the gossip and see what was going on. We didn't have an internet back then, so this was the way we got our information. Again, a little message from Chris Gore with a little drawing by Bob Camp. Again, this magazine was definitely pro Ren and Stimpy and indie animation. So it was always cool to see these guys contributing. Kitty Cartoon News by Richard Purcell, who worked at Spumco. So at the beginning, you see a lot of like, oh, what's in the news, what's coming out. So it was always cool to check this out and see what was coming. This is another Peter Chung from Aeon Flux. This is another forgotten cartoon. He did Phantom 2040, which I always forget to watch. Yeah, Star Wars, Mark Hamill, Margot Kidder, Blondie. It was a great, I've seen clips of it, but I want to go back and watch it. This is a good, reminding me to go see this because I've seen Peter Chung's other stuff, but I've got to go back and check this out. New puppet animation from Nightmare Before Christmas animators, Stephen Buckley. So there's like all this indie stuff that's going on. You know, they go back and like they're kind of showing this early I Love Lucy. In the 1950s, animated titles started off the show, and they're going back and paying tribute to that stuff, which is kind of cool because they don't show those anymore. It's a different intro. Space Ghost Coast to Coast. I think this is like introducing the new show, early Cartoon Network stuff. Behind the voice actor there of Daphne, a little interview. Tom and Jerry interview. So this is just paying tribute to, oh, I think they're interviewing Tom and Jerry. Oh, like it's a funny interview. It's kind of funny. Anime, you know, advertisements over here. Letters to the editor, which are pretty cool. I mean, everybody was really excited about this magazine. So it was just really cool to just read it and just see what was going on in the industry. Again, here's a really cool article on Art Clokey and Gumby, one of the pioneers of stop motion animation, and they really go into detail about how he worked, how he started, and show some clips. Just really inspiring to read this and go through it and go, oh, I could do this if you just had a camera and some stick figures and some clay. You could start doing it, you know. So it's just kind of cool to just see all this stuff. And then, of course, they go into Davy and Goliath. And you can see a little bit of here the studio where he worked. So pretty big article. New TV series I think they did. And, yeah, just going through the techniques, how he worked. Here's a little Back to Bedrock, a little article about the Flintstones, and the movie was coming out then, so they kind of did a tribute of how the whole thing started and the artist that worked on the show, Hanna-Barbera. And Ed Benedict, I think it was Ed Benedict, right? I think he was an early, one of the designers on the show. And it's cool to see this early stuff. And, you know, just to see that early Hanna-Barbera style and kind of who was responsible for it, and just to see these designs is pretty cool. That's what I liked about this magazine, is they would show a lot of the behind-the-scenes stuff, and you'd really get to see, like, you know, the making of the cartoons. Evolution of Fred and Barney. Pretty big article. Nice bonus pinup. Complete history of the Flintstones on TV. If you're interested in how it started and where it ran and the different episodes and stuff. Kind of cool. There's some memorabilia, toys, posters. And then they go into the new live action version and talk a little bit about that and show the sets and everything. Lion King. A little article on Disney's The Lion King and the men behind it, animators. Again, this was during Disney's golden age, so, you know, Disney was really on top of the game with their 2D animation features back then. X-Men, X-Mania. Yeah, this was when the X-Men show was first coming out, and X-Men was super popular in the 80s and even more so in the 90s, I would say. And they finally did an animated cartoon show, and it was just, people went bonkers over it. And, yeah, Larry Houston, he was one of the producers on the show. And they really went and did, you know, the 80s and 90s. They kind of combined the 80s and 90s stories. But, you know, it done in kind of a anime style. It was really, I was really psyched to finally see, like, the X-Men that I grew up with on TV done kind of in an adult way. You had an episode guide, so you could just see how they, you know, kind of truncated what was in the comics. And, you know, Juggernaut, Slave Island, Apocalypse, Magneto, the Sentinels, you know, they hit everything. Red Dawn, Mr. Sinister, Vindicator, Alpha Flight, Bishop. I think they do a Days of Future Past. Mojo Vision, Birth and Rebirth. Pretty cool. Days of Future Past, there it is. Frank Brunner did some designs for it. Talking about videos, before Mickey, an animated anthology, see, they'd go back and you'd go to like early 1900s animation. Some anime, The Man Who Planted Trees. It's an old indie animation there, I think. Videos, books, magazines, Flip, newsletter. So there's all this stuff you could like send away for. It was like an animation zine kind of. Itsy Bitsy Spider, X-Men The Cure, Beavis and Butthead, This Book Sucks, interactive cartoons. Yeah, this was in Space Ace. You could still play that video game. This was really cool. Escape from Cyber City. Yeah, this was an interactive cartoon game that was like an anime thing. I think I do remember that. Dragon's Lair. Critic, canceled. And just, you know, Spike and Mike, animation stuff, Whole Toon catalog. Could buy a lot of stuff from there. Art Tunes, animation dealers, and then Space Goes Coast to Coast. So you got this ad. I think this is when it was first starting out. Yeah, this show, and they were trying to get people to watch it. Kind of cool. So there you have it. Wild Cartoon Kingdom #4, published by Larry Flynt, edited by Chris Gore of Film Threat. Again, my name is Frank Forte. You can find me on social media at Frank Forte Art on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Asylum Press is my publishing company, where you can help support the indie comic scene by buying Fearless Dawn, Warlash, Zombie Terrors, and many more. You can also find me on Kickstarter under Asylum Press. Thanks for watching, and more videos will be coming soon. Hey everyone, you can check me out on the web at frankforte.com. I have a store there where I sell all sorts of merchandise, artwork, sketches, comic books, enamel pins, stickers, all sorts of cool stuff. You can find me on social media, Frank Forte Art on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, and even update Blogger sometimes, but check me out if you want to buy t-shirts and stuff. I have all that stuff on Threadless, Society 6, and Spring, so you can find other types of merch there. Thanks for watching, and subscribe. Thank you.
Goon Cartoons! Thanks for watching our videos, and remember to subscribe for more great cartoons. And be sure to ring the bell to be notified every time we upload a new video. And if you liked that last cartoon, check out these other great cartoons. Go ahead, click one. Go for it. Click it.